Great. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. For those who don't know me, I'm Nicole Ratner. I'm your Braemar Blasters president for this season and next season. And welcome to our first parent meeting of the year. I don't know about everybody else, but I think everybody's very excited to get the season started. I know your board, we are very happy, as are your coaches. So we're going to give you an overview of how tonight's going to work. Try my little trick here. So tonight we're going to do some welcome and introductions. We're going to go over schedules, swim team basics, how to declare for the swim meets, the swim meet layout, products and gear, volunteers, concessions, and then we have a few extra slides at the end too, I think, some other events that we have going on. So at any time, again, we are recording. At any time, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat area. We are going to try to take some questions in between as we go, but please feel free to put them in the chat. We'll make sure that we get to every single one of them. If you are not familiar, our website is braemarblasters.com. You are going to find all of this information and or links to it on that website. So I highly recommend you bookmark that. You will definitely be using it quite a bit. And then as far as social media is concerned, we want to let you know we have a presence on Facebook. We have two areas on Facebook. So if you see Braemar Blasters Swim Team, that is a private group, and that is for members of our swim team only. If you are not in that group, please make sure you go and request to join, and we will approve that request. There are definitely going to be posts that go only to that group page, and they will not show up anywhere else. So we definitely encourage you to check that out. And then the other page is Braemar Blasters Swimming. That is our public page. So if you have any friends interested or other families that you know that are interested in just learning more or following along, that's the page that you want to send them to like and follow, and they'll get plenty of information. In addition, we're on Instagram at Blasters Swim, and we do have a YouTube channel, Braemar Blasters Swim Team. And that YouTube channel has several older Swim 101 videos that I'm not even sure they're totally outdated. You definitely get some good information out of them if you wanted to watch them, but that's where this video will reside as well. So, oh yes. So wanted to just take a moment to introduce our board to you. As I said earlier, I'm Nicole Ratner. I'm your president. I have two swimmers, an 11, 12, and an 8 and under. John Mammon is our vice president, and he has a swimmer who's, is he 11, 12? Yeah, he's 11, 12 as well. Nick Wessel is our treasurer. He's this guy. And he has two swimmers, 9, 10, and 13 and up. See, look at that. Thank you, Kristen. Bridget Martin is our secretary. I don't know how many she has, like 3, 2.
Yes, 3.
He has 3 swimmers. I think in all those age groups as well, actually. And then I like to say that Kristen is our fearless leader. Kristen Adams, she is our team administrator. She does so much, you guys. I mean, this team would not run without her. So, and Kristen has 2. She has an Madison 11, 12 now?
9, 10.
9, 10, and 8 and under. Cooper is 8 and under. So that's your swim team board for you. It is my pleasure right now to introduce our head coach. We are so excited to have Coach Chris Adams with us as our head coach for the summer. And I'm going to let him talk to you all for a little bit and introduce the coaching team to you.
Sweet, I'm on the spot. Well, hello everybody and welcome. Unfortunately, the way my computer has, I only see a couple people. So hopefully there's more people out there. But for those of you who haven't met me, my name is Chris Adams. I have 2 little ones on the swim team. you'll see me being the roughest on those. If you see me actually yelling at a little kid, it's going to be my kid. It's not your kid. So I have a full-time job. I work for Prince William County. I work for the Fire and Rescue, and I have a background in swimming, in which that I swam all growing up. I swam in college. After college, I coached for a couple years, and then I found myself into the fire department and kind of moved away from swimming for a little bit. And then having two little kids that are now interested in swimming, I got sucked back into it. So this is my first year head coaching. I've got experience as assistant coaches, but this is my first year as the full-time head coach. And that is I'm only doing a head coach because I was able to have the assistant coaches with me, that I realized very quickly that they are the real workhorses of the team. So I'm going to introduce Lauren Krantz, who's I don't think she's on. Lauren is going to be the assistant head coach. She's in charge of the 9-10s and the 11-12s. She's got a good history of swimming both in college and then after college. She was a head coach for, I believe it was it Occoquan? She's going to kill me if I messed it up. Is that right? Is that what it was?
I believe so, but I think she also coaches a high school.
Yes, Osborne Park, I believe. I mean, and Erin's nodding her head because she knows all this stuff. So feel free, Erin, to jump in. I'll get to you in a minute. After that, we've got Sam Latota. Sam has got two kids on the team. She's going to be our 13 and up. She was an assistant coach with me last year and a great asset to the team. And then our newest assistant coach, which a lot of you already know, I learned very quickly is a major asset to the swim team. We've got Erin Davidson, and she's doing our micros and our 8 and unders. And last year she did an excellent job with the micros, and it was a no-brainer to bring her back on. So she's going to be doing the workhorse because she's got all the little kids that have very selective memories. So she's going to be banging her head against the concrete sometimes, but she'll do great. Erin, since you're on, go ahead and say hello, and then I'll move on to our college coaches.
Yeah, hi, I'm Erin. I've been swimming for the Blasters since I was 6 years old, and I've been coaching for the Blasters since I was 13, so about 8 seasons, counting COVID. I don't really know how to count that. But yeah, my first group of 6-year-olds are going to be 13 14s this year, I think, which is crazy. But no, I love the micros and I love the 8 and unders, and I'm super excited.
Well, we're real glad to have you, Erin. Thank you so much. And then we've got one of our college coaches on. We got Anthony McCombs, a very familiar name to everybody. He'll be helping out with the 11-12s and the 13 and over. Anthony, do you want to say something?
Yeah, hi, I'm Anthony. I swam for the team for about 13 or 14 years. I've been away for the last 2 or 3 years at college. I'm graduating this weekend, and I'm just excited to be back.
All right. Congratulations, Anthony, on graduating. I know my parents were personally surprised that I was able to graduate, but it's a big feat. Jennifer Martin is our other college coach. She's going to be helping out with the 9-10s, 8 and unders. I don't think she's on because I don't quite see her in my little pictures, but she's a very familiar face to a lot of people. So we've got a great swim team coaching staff. Aside from those I mentioned, we have a long list of senior coaches, junior coaches, and volunteers, which I learned very quickly in my experience. That's what makes this team what it is. So I'm excited to be able to have all these people working with me, and they're definitely going to make my job a lot easier for sure. That's all I got.
Thanks so much, Coach. We appreciate it. And we'll talk about the website, I think, a little bit later on. But if you ever need to reach out to the coaches, though, you can go to our website. Their emails are listed. The one request we will make of you all as parents throughout the entire season is to please not bother the coaches while they're on deck and coaching. Set up a time to talk with them. Come find a board member. There will always be somebody at one of the practices to schedule a time to talk. We might be able to answer your questions, but we want to make sure that we do limit that interaction so that they are directly working with the swimmers during swim time. So We're going to get into swim team basics right now for everybody. Practices. If your child is in the 12 and under range, you do need to stay at the practices. You can't just drop them off. And if you are just kind of dropping your child, please make sure that they have somebody maybe looking out for them just in case there's a weather issue and we have to clear the deck. It's really important that they do have somebody, though, that is kind of watching out for them if they can. If you are a non-resident, you will receive non-resident passes the first week of practices, if I'm not mistaken. So we will have those beginning at the Rob Roy pool the Tuesday after Memorial Day. I will tell you this year with the resident passes, when you get them, they are to be used just for swim team practices. They don't gain admittance into our pool other than that. And they must be turned in at the end of the season. It is very important that we do adhere to that. Practices, what to bring to practice. I'm going to joke what not to bring. It depends how long you're there for. First of all, we want to make sure you have goggles. Coach, are we asking parents to purchase fins to have, or we're going to hold off on that for now?
I'm going to hold off on that one right now. I definitely want to incorporate them more than I did this winter. But I have to talk to our coaches about how much we're going to implement them and everything.
Okay. So parents, you can certainly purchase some fins if you would like to in advance, but right now, if you'd like to hold off on that, you can. Sunscreen, goggles, bathing suits. It's great if the girls are in one pieces, because it'll help. The two pieces, especially if it's like a long sleeve shirt, it may kind of slow them down a little bit in the water, if I'm not mistaken, though I'm not a swimmer. You just want to make sure you've packed snacks, water, that kind of a thing, while they're at the pool. As far as team communication, we will send out weekly emails. Those will come from team administrator, Kristen. We have weekly newsletters that will go out in the summer, and we will always post to our social media. It's really important too that you stay on top of the social media and the newsletters, because that's where we will share the information about the spirit nights that we have for the whole season. We used to do a lot of paper printing. We've stopped doing that. We just feel it's a little bit easier now to kind of streamline into the technology. So before we move on, I can see a question that just came through. So are swim caps required? They are not required. You all will get a swim cap with your registration. My daughters wear them. I will tell you from a parent perspective, I know one of our first seasons, we did have swimmer's ear a couple of times, and the kids have decided now that they just prefer to wear their caps because they don't have as many issues with that. And it helps them with their speed. It's definitely a matter of preference. Not all kids wear them at the meets either. So. Okay, did I miss a slide back there, Kristen?
No, I did. Sorry. And I just wanted to add on that just to confirm, they're not required, but if you choose to wear one during a swim meet, it must be the Braemar Blaster cap given. It cannot be another team's cap, which we know that a lot of swimmers also swim at other clubs year round. So just as a heads up that if they choose to wear them, they must be the Braemar Blasters one.
Okay, Kristen, I may need a little bit of help on this one, but for declaring for the swim meets, you will need to declare for the swim meets. We have worked to put all of our swim meets up at once, so you could just take about 10 minutes and go through and do this if you already know your schedule. But you need to declare for the swim meets. It's very important so that our coaches know who's going to be there and when. We are only given a certain amount of what they call splashes. And so it's really important that if you know you're not going to be there, to say that you won't be there. That way we can make sure that we're spreading them out appropriately. So we'll go over that a little bit more too. Start times. So you're early, folks. Our practice time when we're at home starts at
6. It's always the first practice is 6 a.m.
6 a.m. So it's an early time. So when we're away, we would have the later start time, but still it's going to be close to that 6 a.m. mark, just so you all can plan on that. We have a whole section on our site. I'm not going to go through everything tonight, but what to bring to a swim meet. We've really tried to condense it down for people, but tents obviously are helpful, but it's also helpful to pair up with somebody. Chairs, towels, making sure you have maybe some backup towels for the kids. Some of the mornings it can be a little cold in the morning before it starts to warm up. Activities to keep the kids engaged. Cards are great. Some kids sit around with little video games during the day. Food, though there are always concessions to be had. So we have a very extensive list, and we'll show you where that's located so that you can go and look for what you need. And part of why we love too our time trials, just so everybody understands, that's a time for you all to kind of run through the meet for the first time. So you can kind of see like what you're missing or what you might need for the future. Coach, do you want to go over the technical terms for everybody?
Sure. What technical terms are we looking at?
The ones on the screen.
I see when to declare. Oh, technical terms. I see. I'm sorry. Heat sheets and results. So the heat sheets are exactly what they are. It's a list of names and everything, the people that are swimming in those heats. And I think what's meant by this, I think Kristen, and you might have to jump in on this, referring to like the posting of how they're doing after the events. Is that what we're talking about here?
The heat sheets and results. Sorry. So basically what it is the heat sheets are ahead of time, so you know what your swimmer is listed in, and then the results are the ones that come afterwards. So
yeah, there'll be like a centralized location on the pool. I think on the Braemar pool, it's generally kind of right near the bathrooms, right by the lifeguard guard shack, where they have a sheet where they'll put the sheet in so the kids can go see how they ended up with their time. But I'll tell you on a personal note too, and one thing, we'll talk about this at a later time, some of this stuff we're going to be working this summer. I want the kids to know what their times are. So I want them, when they finish, to look up at the timers and be like, what was my time? So they have an idea, because we're going to have them know that stuff and set goals, and we're going to incorporate that thing. So they should know their times. It shouldn't come to any surprise, whether they talk about placing and everything. I think times are what's important, not so much placing oftentimes. Seating is the way, I believe it's the last, Kristen, again, I gotta ask you to jump in. It's like the last 3 heats we do seating. Is that right?
So the way that the Prince William Swim League rules are is we do deck seating.
Okay.
So that's also why we wanted to tell you the difference between the heat sheets. So basically we'll say is if you are in event 1, let's just say that's like the freestyle, it will list all the swimmers in event 1, but it won't say what specific heat you're in. And then when they call them at clerk of course, they will ultimately be like, then they are seated on the deck there. So they will be, individual heats will be determined at the swim meet. They're not determined ahead of time.
Yeah, we have some
the
very
change
hard
from last year for all those who are returning from last year.
We have some very hardworking volunteers that are in that booth that are looking for the kids, and they're specifically putting them in what seats, and that can be very confusing and a lot of confusion going on there. So my hat's off to those volunteers. So any helping that the parents can do about getting the kids there and everything on time is going to be beneficial for sure. And then the last one, DQ, disqualification. This one is often a difficult one. If a little individual is swimming in an event that they're not used to swimming, and they do some sort of illegal stroke or backstroke, specifically if they roll over on their stomach, there's a whole bunch of different things. They'll be disqualified for that. And sometimes the kids can get very disheartened. Is that even a word? I made it up. Very sad about getting a disqualification. I know I had to have some conversations with my little one about it. And unlike in other sports, it tends to be a fact of life. Until you really get these strokes down pat, it's going to happen. But our goal is to have a lot less disqualifications at the end of the year than what we do at the beginning. Preferably none at the end of the year, but baby steps with such a big team.
Thank you. Yeah. And I mean, I will say from a personal level, and I just talked to the coaches this weekend, my daughter recently had a meet and she DQ'd on a stroke she's really good at. And we had no idea why, but we were able to get the information. And that's what's so incredibly helpful too, because then the kids realize, okay, that's what I'm not doing right. And then they're able to fix it. While we're on here, because I forgot to do this at the beginning though, and this is a nice time, and I think Chris is on here, so I would start with her. But if we have any of our volunteer leads, and I'm sorry, because I did want to have them say hello at the beginning. If any of our volunteer leads are on here, could you please just unmute, say hi, let us know what your lead position is?
Do you want me to start?
That would be great, Chris. Since
you put me on the spot already.
Thank you.
I am the one that's been pestering everybody on Facebook to become a stroke and turn judge. So I lead the stroke and turns. So we are the people writing those DQ slips that make your kids sad. So sorry about that. But they are, like Erin said, they're a great learning way to learn. That's the only way kids learn. That they're doing something wrong. And that's actually why I started doing it, because I saw so many kids, I don't want to say getting away with doing it wrong, but repeating the same mistakes. And so I wanted to make sure that having been a swimmer myself, that they were learning how to swim correctly or do the strokes correctly. But we have the best seat in the house. So if anybody out there wants to be a stroke and turn judge, we would love to have you. We will train you. And the more we get, the better, because we are there for the entire meet. And that means that you get some breaks because you get some outs, but you do see every single race. So it's a great seat. So I guess anything else you wanted me to say?
That's perfect. And I will say there is also a virtual training coming up on the 21st of May. We will send out information as soon as we receive it from the swim league. I know my husband and I are planning to do that just because it's something we do want to learn to be able to help and do in the future. So I would encourage anybody, even if you are already in another volunteer position, to maybe think about joining us for that, because it's a very integral part of the swim season.
And I saved the links last year to the videos. So if anybody misses that virtual, I can send you the links if you want to watch some some videos on what, sort of the stroke and turn judges are looking for. It will, it's interesting. Even as a swimmer, there was stuff I learned from watching it. So.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm going to call on Chuck because he's next alphabetically in my order.
Hi, I'm Chuck Davison. I'm the head of the setup committee. Probably don't see us doing stuff because we do our work Friday nights before the meet. We move all the chairs out of the way. We work on getting the meet set up and getting the pool set up so that come Saturday morning, everything's already set up and the swimmers just have to show up and do their best.
Hey. Casey Hadsel.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Casey Hatzel. We've been with the Braemar Blasters for about 4 years. We love summer swim. My sister turned us on to it. She has 3 wonderful swimmers, Brittany, Brandon, and Ben. This is Ben's senior year. So we're thrilled to be a part of that experience. I have 2 swimmers myself. Tanner, he just aged up, age 13, now a teenager and certainly a pain, but we love him. And Turner, who's 10. I'm in charge of the runners group. We have an amazing group. My sister and my cousin are on the group. I took the reins from Stacy Yentz, who did an awesome job for many, many years with the Braemar Blasters. And what we do is we gather the timing sheets from the timers and the DQ sheets from the officials, and we turn them into the, I guess, the official office per se. And in these past 2 COVID years, we facilitated help in other areas, such as monitoring the fence and bathrooms, etc. But we're an awesome group, we're an awesome team, and we're really looking forward to a wonderful season. So thank you for the opportunity, and I have a great runners group, so thank you.
Thanks, Casey. Gio, are you still on? Okay, I'll wait. I thought I saw her, but I may have lost her. Hold on, I'm still going through. Mike Barber. You're on mute.
Sorry, doing it from my phone tonight. So I'm Mike Barber. I'm the head photographer. I'm the guy you see running around, laying down on the pool all meet long. I think we're still looking for maybe an assistant for me.
No, you have one.
Oh, who is it?
I don't think she's on here, but she's newer to the team and she's not professional with all the fancy equipment you have, but she loves taking sports photos. So
Awesome. All right.
we'll
Looking
get you in touch with her, I promise.
great. And so the photography team also puts together the senior picture gift as well as the end of the year slideshow. So glad to be back.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys will all see that Mike's photos are phenomenal, and then we will all get jealous of his equipment. Sarah Royer.
Hey guys, I'm Sarah Royer and I am head of pep rally and banquet. And oh my gosh, this will be our 9th year. I guess our 9th year doing this. So we kind of have everything down to a pretty fine-tuned machine. I think last I checked, we were full, but we do all the fun stuff outside of meets. Basically, I started it just because I wasn't sure if my kids at the time were even gonna want to compete. So I needed something that was not on Saturdays to do. Turns out that, well, at least 2 of them loved it. One of them we're still not quite sure about, but we'll figure that one out as we get there. But anyway, we do the pep rallies and the banquet, and we have lots of fun. Do all the good, fun stuff.
Thanks, Sarah. Whitney, are you still on? Okay.
Me, Whitney?
Whitney Hood?
Yes, that's me.
Yes.
Wait, am I the head of something?
Yes, you're the head of cleanup.
Oh, all right. I think I got an email about that, but I'm not super organized. I participated with cleanup last year. It's a lot of fun. The more people, the more hands, the quicker it gets done. So it's going to be great.
Thanks.
I'm excited. I didn't know I was the head of that. You sent me an email, but I'm not organized.
Whitney, that is what we call a field promotion when that happens. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Voluntold. That's all right. I'm happy.
Sorry, Whitney.
I'm happy about it. Awesome.
Did I miss anyone? I think that's all though. Okay, back to you, Nicole.
Okay. All right. So ribbons, let's see if I can get all this right. So first of all, heat ribbons are given out after each race, right? So if your child's swimming in a heat and they happen to be the first to touch the wall, they will receive an orange heat ribbon. I think they'll still be that same color immediately when they get out of the water. Any other ribbons for placing will show up in your folders. Each family will have a folder in a team box that will be at all of the practices. And so we just ask that you regularly check those folders for those ribbons that your children may receive. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that they do them up to, is it 9? 10?
I think it's 9.
I
9.
thought it was 12.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it might be.
Maybe
okay.
it is.
Yeah. So again, and it's top 12. So, and they're all different colored ribbons also. So you will see those. And then in addition to that, we also have personal best ribbons. And again, like Coach was saying, like what really matters is their time, right? If they know and they're shaving time, like they're doing great. Like that's the goal, right? They start at one time and they just knock a bunch of time off and they're doing even better. So they'll continue to receive personal best ribbons. Micro blasters, we will do ribbons for your micros as well for the meets and that. So they are not left out.
Can I just add one thing? So the ribbons box will only be at the Iona Sound pool. So we'll be there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Thursday evening.
And concessions, we will have concessions again this year. I know there'll be a slide a little bit later on in here. I can just tell you right now, though, we will offer concession cards. I think it's like $10 a card, which gets you 12 stars. Each star is worth $1. So you're getting a good deal by that. Our goal is to have the concession cards available for the first week of swim meet so you can purchase it. It's a really easy way for your swimmers, you know, if you're busy, you know, volunteering and doing one position, you know, they don't have to keep trying to find mom or dad to grab cash to go to the concession. They can just show their concession card and it will be punched. And that is for us, for our team, for our home meets. At the other meets, I've not seen many of those teams do the concession cards. So you definitely want to make sure that you have cash on hand for the other meets that we would be at, the away meets.
Can I jump in one quick question or statement? I think from my experience for the new families out there, we've got the best concessions in the entire Prince William County. I think the food is great. And on that note too, can I personally have it so my kids do not get served anymore because I lost a whole mortgage payment because of all the candy those kids were eating.
No problem. I'm pretty sure my husband's just happy when he has a hot dog at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I don't get it at swim meets, but it's a thing. All right. So we talked earlier about needing to declare for a swim meet. And what's really important for this is that you log in and select the meets you're going to. So actually, Kristen, can I do this with them?
You should be able to do it if you can. You should be able to share now.
Okay, I'm sorry, you guys.
If not,
I'm going to. All right. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Just give a thumbs up. It should be the Braemar Blasters site. Okay, great. So when you want to declare for any of our meets, and again, declaring for our meets means you are either telling us you can attend or you are not going to be able to attend. If you scroll to the bottom of our page, you will see our events listed. So these are all of our current events. You can see the first one is Winter Swim Meet. That is for our winter swimmers. They're doing a small meet on their last date. I've already put in my commitment, and that's why you see the edit commitment button. I'm going to show you, though, our away at Westridge, which is going to be our first official meet. And what you will see when it comes up is you'll see your account information. You'll see the registration deadline. You will then also see your swimmers. You will click on your swimmer and you will simply select the drop-down button for yes, sign me up, and hit save. You will do this for as many children as you have or swimmers that you have on the team and hit save. If for some reason you know that you're leaving early, you could put that in the notes section in that area. I think, no, you can't. Yeah, okay.
You should be able to. I just realized that that one doesn't have all the steps to it for some reason. Maybe show them the next meet.
Oh, okay. Sounds great. I'm going to go to the next one. Let me go back here. Okay. We'll go to Dominion Valley versus Braemar. Okay. Oh, here you go. Yeah. You will see the meet name, the location. This is obviously at our pool, Iona Sound. I'm not sure, again, you don't need to worry too much about any of this other information in here other than declaring your swimmer. So again, you will just simply select your swimmer. You can add, they do need to click the day one, session one. Okay. And then if there are any notes that you have, you can place them in here and the coaches will be able to see that. You will also receive an email after each one that you declare. And if you're unable to attend, again, that is not a problem. Simply You can see your member has committed. And so you're good to go. If for some reason there is a meet that you know you are unable to attend, I'm gonna go to this one. So this is our July 9th event. I know we have an out-of-town family wedding. I know we won't be there. So you would simply just say, no, they will not attend this event. And you will see that it then shows declined. Right here in the member commitment area. So that is all we are asking you to do. I'm going to put it back here and let Kristen pull the slideshow back up for us.
And Nicole, we have a few questions. One that I answered, but I thought it'd be great to mention to people as well. Yes, micros will be required to do this once we put the micro swim meet information in the event schedule. We haven't done that quite yet. Just so as FYI. And I think there's another question.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. So let me go back. Are concessions peanut free for kids with allergies?
I saw that. I'm going to double check because I honestly do not know that answer.
Yeah, we will double check on that. I'm a tree nut allergy and I know that I have not had any issues, but we will double check on the peanut issue. Microblasters, right. Do the coaches decide which events the child will do once we declare them as attended? Coach?
Yeah, so collaboratively, yes, we're going to be, that's going to be something that has been an issue in the past about simply putting children, kids, swimmers in events that they don't necessarily want to swim. Now that's going to be a discussion amongst all coaches once they say, we're going to try to challenge the kids and maybe put them in some stuff that they might not necessarily want to, but just for something that we think that they are capable of doing. So generally, if a kid does not want to swim something and they're adamant about it and stuff, we're not gonna force them to swim events that we don't want them to swim. But that being said, too, that's a discussion that we have usually with the swimmer and the coaches. And I know in the past, when something like that's come up, we've had swimmers that have chosen not to swim an event, but yet swim other events that day. And that's not going to be a process that we're going to allow. That if you put an event, you're going to swim that event. That's just the way it is. But that's a discussion we'll have later on as well. And we don't want to put kids in difficult spots for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And just to note, you can note that, like, if there's a certain event your swimmer would like to participate in, when you're declaring, as Nicole just showed, you can also include that information in the note section.
And typically the maximum amount that a swimmer can do is
3 individual and 2 relays.
2 relays, correct. And the relays, if I'm not mistaken, correct, is typically computer generated based on times. So that is also why it's also important to attend the time trials, right? Because that gives the coaches an idea of where your swimmer is within their age range as well when they're planning out. So that would be important. Okay, we got the questions. Okay, so practice schedule. Again, this information is all online. I just want you guys to be able to see this, but we do start practices the 31st. I will warn you with the littles, the water is going to be cold. We understand they may not last very long. Please understand their lips will be blue. They will be shivering. Bring some sweatshirts, bring some blankets. But we do meet in the evenings until the 15th of June. And so we will start with the youngest from 5 to 6. And then progressively, as you can see on the right-hand side of the schedule, it goes up in time. We alternate pools. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we are always at the Iona Sound Pool. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're at the Rob Roy Pool. When we're done with school, so starting June 16th, that is also when the Microblasters then join us as well. And those sessions then move to the morning, and you can see the times. Then we start with the older kids, start first thing in the morning, and then we work our way up to the micros. The micros only swim Monday through Thursday. In addition, because we know that many parents, sometimes they can't make it happen during the week for the morning practices. So we do offer evening practices. On Tuesdays, we're at the Rob Roy Pool, and it's from 6 to 7 p.m. and it's for 10 and under. And then on Thursdays, we're at Iona Sound Pool, 6 to 10 again, or 6 to 7 again is the 10 and under. 7 to 8 would be 11 and over stroke clinic, it looks like. And then just 8 to 9 is an 11 and over practice. Yes, the microblasters are 4 days per week from 11:15 to 12 p.m. So this is your schedule. I just encourage you to put it in your phones. So my kids color coded. In addition, this is our schedule for the meets, as you saw before, and for what we have going on. So we start with our time trials on June 4th. Then we move to our first official meet will be West Ridge away. All of the pool locations are also located on our website, but you will get all this information, like we said, in weekly emails. You will get very detailed information about the meets. June 18th, we're at Dominion Valley. June 25th, we're at home against Wellington. July 2nd, there is no meet that weekend, though our team does participate in the Stars and Stripes Invitational. It is hosted by Bridalwood. It is a very fast moving meet, and it is based on times in how we invite, because we only have one swimmer per event. So we will be reaching out to the swimmers that were qualified for that particular invitational. July 9th, we're at home against Meadowbrook. July 16th, away at Bridalwood. July 23rd, we're at home against Sudley. And then July 30th is our divisionals at Dominion Valley. So we have a full season. Cooper switching screens here. All right, so I just want to touch base briefly about the social events. We have a great social committee. It is chaired by Erin Wessel, who was on our board last year as our secretary. We have spirit nights that happen. The list will come out pretty soon. Actually, we have a majority of them already lined up thanks to sponsorship team. And we do those typically weekly on a Monday night, though there are a few that we've thrown in there on nights when we're all at the pool for practices. We will have a spirit week, the week of July 25th, where there will be different activities happening during the week, such as arts and crafts and that kind of a thing. And we will definitely notify everybody in advance. As Sarah mentioned, we will have pep rallies. I believe there's 3 of them that we will have. And typically it's more of a gathering, potluck type of gathering at Iona Sound the night before a home meet. We do various community events, serve our willing warriors. There's always a day where the kids, swimmers go and clean up. And I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, are there other community events besides that one? We do our Swim a Lap fundraiser, which always benefits another charity within our community. And that's always a lot of fun for the kids too. And then we'll do team events, and we'll also have age group events. So lots to go on in the summer. We're definitely compiling everything so we get you dates right away so you can add them to your calendar. Oh yes, so Casey reminded me we have kickball. We are working on a date for kickball. We do a kickball with, oh my gosh, Kingsbrook, I think it is actually, yes, with Kingsbrook. And that's always been a lot of fun for everybody. So, and you can see on the screen, we have our spirit nights, and they are sadly fast approaching. So definitely you'll want to mark your calendars down. Again, typically our team will earn a percentage back off of each of these. And our July 25th event is always a favorite. It's at Cold Stone, and a lot of our swimmer coaches are there, and they are scooping the ice cream for the kids. So, all right. So are there any questions before I move on about social? I neglected to mention, but you all saw it in your registration. We are going to be kicking off our season with what we call splashes. And everybody who's new to the team, you are automatically included. And then we asked returning members if they wanted to be included. It's a little like the booze you might receive at Halloween. It's completely anonymous. And we would typically, you'd be gifted something on your front step with a special Braemar splash poem that you can hang in your window. And it usually typically includes things from like the Dollar Tree or the Target, bins up in the front, candy or drinks or games that the kids could use at the pool during the summer, those kinds of things. It's a nice way just to kind of bring everybody together. The kids always really enjoy it as well.
And I should note that so our theme, obviously, stars, stripes, red, white, and blue. So there's a lot of that going on right now. So we're doing it earlier because it makes it easier to find. Thank you to the wonderful Independence Day holiday.
Yes. How many times 9 and 7-year-olds practice during the week? Okay, so there's practice every day during the week. So
If they're on the blasters.
If they're on the blasters. Yeah. If they're on the micro blasters, it's 4 days a week. And then we do offer the additional evening practices. My children, we try to go to as many of them as we possibly can. Okay. So moving on, we just want to show you guys the basic layout of what our swim meets look like. The overview that you have in front of you is of the Iona Sound pool. Where the green box is at the bottom where it says computers and scoring, that is the clubhouse, just to give you a point of reference. And then I'll get the street wrong. The street to the right is that the Parkway?
Yeah.
Prince William Parkway.
Thanks.
Braemar Parkway.
Braemar Parkway.
That's what I meant.
Braemar Parkway. So as you can see, and I don't know if everybody can see Kristen's cursor as well, because that's super helpful, actually. Okay, so that's a bigger.
Sorry, I'm going the wrong way.
Okay. So what I just want to show you all, which we've marked, is number one is towards the back there. That's kind of the pavilion area. And that's where the swimmers, that's the clerk of course area. The way we are staging everything for those that are returning is the same as we did last year. The only change we have made this year is that because we were still dealing with COVID at the time last year, we had to make sure we always had one entrance and one exit to keep everything flowing. This year, so last year we had some of our swimmers walking along kind of that Braemar Parkway area to get into the back gate. We have done away with that this year. Everything will remain within the pool area. So as you can see, so we have clerk of course there. And then the 2 is the second area. That is where your swimmers will move to the staging area to get ready to swim. And then they move to the 3rd staging area where they drop their belongings on some chairs. If they have sweatshirts or a towel or shoes, that just cannot be left in the clerk of course area. So we do leave some lounge chairs out for them to put their things. And then swimmers, number 4, will enter the lily pad area. There's little small square pads that we call the lily pads along the way. That's where they will enter. And
That's
then
for the younger kids. Sorry, I just realized we didn't update that.
Yeah, for the younger kids. So 25-meter races, right? This is where they start. And they will end at number 5. And then when they're done there, they will walk back down towards kind of the bathroom area and back around that side to get their belongings if they want, and then they can exit. We have 2 ways to exit. They can exit through concessions, which is very dangerous, but definitely doable, or they can exit through the gates that are located to the right of the clubhouse. So let's see. And this is, okay. So you can see where the pool area is. So just so you all know, when we talk about setting up tents for the day, we will be utilizing outside the gates along Braemar Parkway, which you can see is in the green area. And then also when you're looking at the clubhouse to the left, there's some grassy area there and the parking lot. we will be utilizing the parking lot as well. So we definitely have plenty of availability. Last year, we were going to be using the kinder care facility across the way. I'm not even sure it was actually ever used. I don't think it
I
was.
don't think it was. It's an overflow option if needed.
Yeah, exactly. So there's plenty of space for tents and to be able to set up. Do we have any questions on that side of things? Okay. All right. If you do, feel free, like we said, to put in the chat. All right. Blasters gear. All right. I have a couple of examples for you, at least, although it's a little crooked today. But so I have the bucket hat on. Kristen, what are you wearing?
I have the wonderful adult zip hoodie that's lightweight and awesome for.
Oh, it's
summer.
lightweight?
It's lightweight. It's not sweatshirt material. It's like almost like a t-shirt material.
Okay, I'll have to get that. Well, this is the sweatshirt, just so everybody can see. And if you choose to get name on the back, which I highly recommend, it makes it easy for us to find you. Then you can have that. We have some great gear available, and it's going to stay up for a while for you guys. So I highly recommend you do that. We had a huge request for flannel pants. I just want to let everybody know. They were just incredibly difficult to receive and to get in our colors. So we have them. They're in a red and black striped flannel for this season, just so everybody's aware. And that's for the youth, not the adults, FYI.
And just follow up on that, because people always ask why they need PJ pants. You will see 90% of the swim team kids wearing them throughout swim meets in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah, it keeps them nice and warm. I mean, again, that's the thing. They like to keep warm in between. And I will say, actually, we did also buy this hat. I don't know if you can see, but it's really good, full coverage. So yes, so we encourage you to go check it out, Blaster Spirit Wear. And while we're on it, you received an email earlier today or yesterday, I can't even remember, about our Blasters t-shirt design. We had some great designs submitted. And so we need you to vote on what you want on the front of the t-shirt and then what you would like to see on the back of the t-shirt. I think it's only open until later tonight.
Tomorrow night. We're giving you guys a little bit of like 36 hours.
And these shirts will be available to purchase. All of our swimmers, this is the t-shirt that your registration included. Adults, if you wanted to purchase some for yourselves, which we highly recommend, you will have that option to do that as well. Okay, so reference materials, as we talked about before, if you're on our website and logged in, the tab that says team info at the top has everything you'll need. It has the summer schedule. It has the registration guide, which you shouldn't need anymore at this point. The Blasters handbook. I highly encourage all of our new parents to please read that. I will also say on behalf of Chris, because she's on this call, Chris and I worked very hard on this several years ago to really get it up to date. And it was something that was important to me as a new parent at the time. I wanted to make sure I had, I just needed to know more because I was so new to swimming. So that's incredibly important. We'll also update and make sure the concessions menu, it's actually not changing from 21. So what you see there is accurate. There's also an FAQ section along with our swimmer coach policy. I will say this much. When you registered, you did sign off on the policies, and I encourage you as parents to make sure you read through them with your swimmers. It's very important on that. We will also list all the other information you can see there as well, including our bylaws and the swim bylaws. And if you ever have any questions, we just encourage you to reach out to us. You can send a message to any of our email addresses. We'll get back to you. You can send it to secretary or admin or president. I'm around too. So please don't hesitate to ask if you have any questions. Volunteers. Yes. Okay. So here's the thing. We can't do this without you all. I mean, clearly, you know that, you get that. We are not paid. Your board members, we are not paid. We are all straight volunteer positions here. So it's really important that you do declare, because that helps us know if you're not going to be around for your volunteer position that you've signed up for. And I will say, it is in the policy and procedures that, if you don't notify of your absence or you do fail to perform your volunteer commitment, that there are consequences that can be had. So we really want to make sure that we're all doing the jobs that we've signed up for. And if you have any questions about the one you have signed up for, please let us know. This is just a great little slide just to show you all the different ways that everybody is helping out, from concessions to merchandise to clerk of course to our timers. And oh my gosh, I love that picture of the mom with the baby being a runner. Oh, that's so great. So you can see, and then our stroke and turn with the great positioning, our score, those are our scores computers in the middle. Yeah, if you really love air conditioning, that's a great spot. And parents always ask, well, I don't want to miss my kid. You will not miss your swimmer swimming. We will make sure that you are able to see them swimming. So please don't think that that would happen. Okay, we had one question for tent setup. What time does that typically happen? And is it the same for home and away? So that's a great question. Tent setup for us at home will happen at 8 p.m. and after on the Friday before the swim meet. For away, that will depend. Some teams have not let us come to set up the night before, and others have said it's okay. That information for our away meets will be in the email that you receive the week of the meet so that you know. I hope that answered your question, Erin. Yes, Chris, stroke and turn never misses their kids swimming. She's so good. Here's our menu for you. I would agree with Chris. I think it's one of the best ones that we have. We do have a QR code available that you'll be able to use for Venmo this summer. We have the punch cards, like we said, and then cash. But it kind of gives you a good idea of the prices and the money to save for the summer. Pretty sure the kids will eat right when they get there. I'm pretty sure they'll eat like an hour later and then every hour after. So there you go. And I definitely recommend some candy. I will say, like, at one point or another, one of my kids, like, she starts it's just downhill. Like, she's just got to have a little bit of chocolate and she's good.
We received a question, and Erin, maybe you can clarify this. Do home and away meets have different sections?
Oh,
I'm not sure what you mean by
I
section.
meant for my tent question, like, do we set different?
Oh, yes, so and we'll include that in the weekly email if we get it. So for home meets, which I can go back to the thing, all the green areas were open to us. We do section off part of the parking lot for the away team. But really any other area is open, but we do have a designated area for away team. And I believe all other swim meets, all of the other teams do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. What's next? Yes. So there is still time to join, everybody. We are currently full for 8 and under, but I encourage you, even if you're interested, to please get on a wait list. You never know what happens that first couple weeks of swim. And things do happen and pop up. And sometimes, people do leave the team early on for one reason or another. So we do encourage you to get on a wait list if you're interested. We do have openings in 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14. Micros is full. And we do not even have capacity really for wait list at this time, but I'm not sure if we're taking one. Is that right? No. Yeah.
No, there's no wait list. So Erin Davison has her hands full because her groups
sure does.
Completely full.
She sure does. So anyway, I want to take a moment to open it up to anybody that has any, I actually, hold on, I have a couple other notes. I want to, first of all, give a huge shout out, and I know our lead couldn't be here tonight, but I think some of the team is our sponsorship team. We couldn't do what we do without our sponsorship team. And this year it's a new team for us. And as of the other day, they had 27 committed sponsors already, which is fantastic and so incredibly so incredibly proud of them. So if you know of somebody, or you own your own company, or you know a local business that might be interested, please send a message to the sponsorship at braymarblasters.com, and they will do a great job of following up. Yes, we have been posting quite a bit. We post in on the Facebook community page, just to let people know that we do have openings available. So I know Chris has done a great job posting in Saybrook area for us as well. If you are part of any other groups on social media that you want to share that the Blasters have some openings, please, by all means, feel free. We always appreciate that. So does anybody have any questions for us at this time? Feel free to unmute yourself.
I have a question.
Sure.
So while you were talking, I was trying to declare Ben for the meets, because if I don't do it, I'll forget. And there were 2 meets I couldn't do it for, time trials and Wellington, I think it was.
Okay.
So we have been having some issues with those for some reason, and
Okay.
we're on it. So
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you knew.
yeah, we'll have that updated. This week is our goal. So it will
Okay.
definitely be updated as soon as possible.
I just knew I'd forget, so
Yeah.
thanks.
Me too.
You're welcome.
I don't know how many of you are new on here. I know it's overwhelming. I know it seems like it's a lot. I can promise you, I mean, we were new to the team about 4 years ago, and now I'm here. Not to say you would be, but I'm just in general, it all runs so smoothly. And I just encourage you, don't hesitate to ask a question. Like I said, there will always be a board member present at, I'm pretty sure, every single practice that we have going on. I'm there. I'm going to be there almost all the time in the mornings. Please don't hesitate to come up and talk to us or ask us anything you need to ask. Again, if you have any questions for the coaches or want to talk to them, we just ask that you schedule a time with them to talk when it's not during the practice times. But we are so excited for this season. We can't wait. I know it wasn't on that one calendar, but I do want to bring your attention to July 31st is a Sunday. And we host our swim banquet that night. And I want to just be very clear. Everybody is invited to the banquet, including micros. We encourage you to attend. All of your swimmers at the banquet will be recognized on stage. They will be given a medal, and we want them to have their medals. You can't imagine the amount of medals we are left with at the end of the season. And it's a shame. We don't really want them to go to waste. So it's a really great night to recognize all of the hard work that your swimmers have done, and they love it. We typically will have a dinner beforehand. You don't need to come to the dinner. You can just come afterwards for the banquet portion. So that will be on the 31st. And the other event that we have, forgive me, I think it's June 9th. No, that's too early.
30th, I think.
June 30th. No, that's the back. Okay, I have to double check. But we do have a night where we do team photos. You are more than welcome to come and have your pictures taken and have your swimmer be in the team photo. It is completely up to you. You can get photos done with siblings or groups. Again, it's completely up to you. And we do already have that date. So we'll make sure that we publicize these events for you all very quickly so that you can get them on your calendars.
And that is also open to micros too. Just in general, for the families here who are micro blasters only, all team events are open to all the team. So that's blasters and micro blasters. There will be age group specific events, which includes a specific age group. Like there'll be a micro blasters event separate from the 8 and under event. So just so you know that, please, micros are always welcome at pep rallies. They're always, I think in the past, there's been some uncertainty if they could, if they were supposed to be there. Nothing's a requirement, but they're always welcome to attend.
I would love to hang out with my micros more, so please come. I love the micros.
And we will have an in-person parent meeting on June 1st at 5:30 p.m. Micro parents, we will meet with you all on June 16th, which is the first day of practice prior to practice starting at 10:45. You will be emailed. You don't need to remember anything tonight. You will get all these dates in person. I believe in open communication. So again, the more you let us know what you need or, what's working, let us know what's working great. We love to hear that. If there's something that's not working great, please let us know as well. We really appreciate it. So I'll just ask one more time. Are there any other questions that anybody has?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, we are new to the first time for us. What do you mean by tents?
So typically families will have, it's like a 10 by 10 pop-up tent. So it has just 4 metal legs and it just rises straight up and it just covers a space where you can sit to give yourself some shade. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think we call it a lot of times you call them canopies too, but it's just, you'll notice it right away. I will say my very first summer, our very first swim meet, we did not have one and we promptly went out and got one. So but that's up to you. I definitely always think that there's space at another person's tent, that the team's very welcoming. So even at the first day you don't have, first time you don't have one, I'm sure you will be welcomed into another person's.
And this is just like this is like a quick Google search, but you can just see, you can find them at Walmart, Target, Costco, BJ's, any of those places. But I do encourage you definitely to kind of partner up. If you're new actually to the meets, and you're interested in kind of meeting another family, maybe to kind of partner up, would you please just do me a favor and send us a message? Send that to, I'll send it over to admin. Send it to admin@braymarblasters.com. I am more than happy to share my tent. I will pretty much not be in it the majority of the time. So there you go. Makeup day, right. There is no makeup.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, Kristen's right. There's no makeup day unless it gets rained out, and we do have a backup date for that. Question. So winter swim question. What bathing suit should the swimmers wear this Sunday? Just a regular bathing suit, right? Not the new summer bathing suit though. That should be the suits that you all received with registration should not be worn to practices. Those are just for the meets.
And we'll send out this information as well, but we have been told because of the heat press, swimsuits should not be dried if you do dry them in general. So we recommend you do not dry the team suit.
So air dry only.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Oh, that's good. Whitney, thank you.
Whitney's very prepared now for the cleanup crew.
I love that.
Very prepared.
That's great. Okay, I don't think I have anything else. So I thank you guys so much for participating. We really appreciate it. We will stay in touch. You will hear from us quite a bit within the next several weeks leading up to our season starting. So thank you all for joining and have a great night.
Thank you for